I wanted to show you my altar setup for Imbolc and see what you think. I decided for Imbolc to add more green to the altar, like, you know, more plants and living things, because it's like a celebration of, you know, life's coming back, like things are coming back into the world. Everything's getting ready to come back in the spring. We're halfway through between winter solstice and spring equinox, so this is just a little celebration in between, and also it's a celebration of Bridget. I will do a video separate explaining a bit more about Imbolc, but basically just to give you like the sort of like very basic overview. Imbolc is a celebration that spring is on its way, and things are just starting to grow, so you might just get the odd little thing poking up through the snow if you've got snow. In the UK, we've got no snow. We have lots of fog though today, but yeah, we haven't got snow. We haven't had any this year, which is weird, so we might not get any, which will be very strange. The first winter for a long time where we've had no snow at all. But anyway, this is my setup. So first of all, I've got my massive tapestry with all the lights, fairy lights around it. And then here in the centre is my altar. And I figured out how I can sit at my altar now, because I had it where I was having to stand up at my altar because I can't sit on the floor because I'm having problems with my hip. But I found I can lower my desk chair, my wheelie chair, to the right height, so I'm sitting in the right position where I'm sort of slightly below the altar, but I can still reach everything on the table, so I'm doing it that way instead, so I can still sit at my altar. So that's really good. I've discovered that recently. So yeah, let's show you what we've got. So first of all, at the side I've got a plant. This is, hold on, I've got a thing on my phone that reminds me what it is. So I had to find, because it was looking a bit pale and looked like it hated me. So I found like the instructions on how to look after it, because obviously I wasn't doing something right. It's a bromeliad. It's an indoor plant, and you're supposed to put it semi-shade, and you just sort of, you put room temperature water in the heart of the plant once a week. I made the mistake, I was watering the soil, so I don't think it was getting enough water, and then where it was too sunny. So it looks a bit fed up at the minute, looks a bit pale, but I've fed it and I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm just going to baby it, and it's going to sit here, because here it'll get the sunlight it needs, but it won't be in direct sunlight. So it looks a bit ill at the moment. That flowery bit is supposed to be like bright red, but it's all gone pale, so oops, we'll see. But it looks better than it did. I'm just hoping it'll sort of go green again. We think what it was is it was in a place that was too sunny, so it was failing, but we'll see. It's got babies on the side, so I'm hoping if all else fails, one of the babies I'll take. But it looks alright. It's going to live. It should be fine. So yeah, on here I've got my candles, most of which I've made. All the big pillar candles, the thick ones, apart from the one in the centre, I've made from scratch. So that blue one, that one, that one. I've made all the little jar one, these little jar ones. That's a tea light, and then that's a candle I made myself in there. In there's a tea light. Bought that one from the pound shop. That one's from the pound shop. That one I got from the range, and I've decorated it myself. The jar that I've got my rose in, which is my offering, I got that from the charity shop. Pine cones got from the craft shop. That little decanter thing that I've got my moon water in, that's from the charity shop. And so is my little candle snuffer. How cute is this? Look at this. I found this the other day. I've been after a candle snuffer. You can get the brass ones from like the sort of spiritualist shops, and they're like 12, 16 quid, and it's just a stick with a cup on the end. I'm not paying that. Went to the charity shop, found this little candle snuffer. You have to excuse its filthiness because I've been using it. Yeah, found this little candle snuffer, and it cost me like, I think it was 60p. So I'm sorted. I've got a candle snuffer and I've paid a lot less. Never pay full price if you can find it in the charity shop. Oh, I always recommend looking in the charity shop for stuff. I mean, a lot of this stuff, it's either stuff I've had from the charity shop, stuff I've made, and there's a few bits I've bought. So like my altar cloth is a scarf I used to wear around my neck a lot, and the one underneath it. I didn't change the colour of the altar cloth because I like the colour, so I've decided to keep the same colour. I know traditionally for Imbolc, white's like a big colour, but I thought, well, I've got enough white with the candles, so that'll do. And I do like this sort of silvery, very pale pink colour. So all I've done is I've just made sure it, because the red one was out more for Christmas, for Yule, so I've just made sure that this cloth covers the red one more, so it's more silvery. So I feel that fits quite nicely. I've got my blue scented candle that I made not so long back. Got to excuse my camera if focus goes. This is a beautiful rose that I got from a bunch I got from the shop, and I took one off and put it in this vase. Well, it's actually a brandy glass that I got from the charity shop, and I'm using it as a vase. And that's my offering that I did the other day, and there's a little white one in there from my mini rose bush that I accidentally broke off. I've got this little baby bamboo plant which I bought from Morrison's. I got that from the local supermarket. If you follow me on Instagram, you've just seen the picture of it in my shopping cart. I was quite excited to find it. So yeah, I think it's adorable, and it'll grow to a maximum of 3 feet, so it'll probably end up at the side on the lower part there. I've got my bonsai tree, which is a ficus, I believe. Let me have a look. I've got my tag still. What's it say on the tag? Bonsai tree. It's a ficus ginseng. Couldn't tell you what the ginseng bit means, but it's a ficus. I've got another ficus. It's just a slightly different variety. The other one I've got. I've got this plant over here. I forget what it's called. It's not what it says on the pot, because that's the pot I've reused. Because it came in a tiny little pot when I got it, and it's like tripled in size. My daughter's got a very, very good green thumb, and she's managed to make that grow and thrive. I had it on my windowsill and it started to look a bit ill, and it was about a third of the size. My daughter's had it for about 3 months maybe, and it's like tripled in size, and it's starting to flower. So, but I know how to look after it now. So I'm not the best with plants, so I have to keep asking my daughter, but that's fine. So I've got that plant there, that one there, that one there, and then I've got my varying candles. I've got my salt lamp type thing. It's just a tea light holder that's made out of pink Himalayan salt. My little candle holder with candling I've made. I've got my little bird over there, my little robin. I absolutely adore robins, and we have loads of robins in my garden at the minute, so I keep putting the bird feeder out for them. And I absolutely love robins, and they were a favourite of my grandparents who passed as well, so it's really nice to hear them in the garden again. I've managed to encourage them to come back, because they'd disappeared for a bit. Because when we had the new fencing in the back garden, we had to take all the ivy down, and they were nesting in there. So unfortunately, they'd finished nesting and had all flown off, but I found the remains of an old nest in there with like an empty eggshell. So unfortunately, they didn't come back the following year, but they have just started to come back now because the tree at the back's grown a lot more. So we've been putting food out, and I can hear them a lot more now, so that's brilliant in the morning, hearing the little robins tweeting again. So I've got my little robin little statue there. I had that from Sainsbury's, I think it was. Yeah, Sainsbury's, something like that. It's definitely a supermarket. I've got a little tiny, teeny weeny elephant. I've had these for years. I had this from a new age type shop. I've got like a whole little series of them, and they're all different sizes. And I've added that one there because I found him the other day. I don't know where. Oh, hold on. I've got his friends down here. It must have fell off. There's his friend. I love elephants. They're some of my favourite creatures. So I've got my 2 little elephants there. My camera's not doing the best job because of all the light off the candles, but so they're in a bit silhouette, but they're these beautiful little hand-carved elephants, which are gorgeous. So they live there. Got my incense on. I've still kept these. These were on for what's my jig for Yule. But I love pine cones anyway, and these are so cute with the glitter on, so I didn't want to move them. I just felt that they should still stay here. I feel they're fitting with sort of like this, it's still winter theme because they look like they're frosty. So basically, it's like the inspiration behind this altar setup is the idea that it's still frosty outside, but there's the odd little bit of green just starting to poke through, which is, you know, that's you do stuff like that for Imbolc, because it's like some things are just starting to come through. Like at the moment in my garden, the daffodils are just starting to come through, and the tulips. So you'll have this frost, and then you just got these little green things sticking up. So yeah, that was my inspiration behind the colour scheme, which is basically white and green. And then I've got my odd blue candle at the back just because I really like that candle. Anything else I want to show? Oh yeah, I've got varying crystals on here. I've got selenite and snow quartz or something like that it's called. Basically, this is selenite, this one. I love how it catches the light. It's ever so strange. It's really good. Especially when you grow it by flame, it looks beautiful. Very pretty. And I've got a little selenite stick as well. Just a little tiny one. Look at that. Can you see how it's catching the light? Absolutely gorgeous. I've got a thing about selenite and white stones at the moment. And then that's I believe that's a snow quartz I bought the other day. And then in here, I've got my necklace charging up, which has got I think that's another piece of snow quartz in there. Got some petals off the roses that fell off that I've put in here. I've got citrine and rose quartz. I don't think this one's snow quartz. I think it's something else, but it looks very similar. I've got amethyst in here. I've got agate in there. Clear quartz, whatever that is. I've got my desert rose in here, which is selenite as well in a different form. I've also got some, like rocks and bits that I found outside in the garden that I liked. Look, this was in some gravel I've got, and I like the shape of it. So I'll put that in there. That's another piece of agate. That's another one I found in the garden, and I liked it because it was white and interesting. And then this one is a little piece of, I think it's like a calcite that I found while I was out for a walk. And then whatever that one is, I can't remember every single crystal I've got that many now. I keep forgetting what they're called. And this is kind of like a cross between an offering dish and somewhere to charge jewellery and bits. So there's all sorts in here, and occasionally what I'll do is I'll borrow something out of here, wear it for the day or whatever, and then put it back in the evening. Or like my piece of jewellery, I'm leaving that to charge on here, and it's filled underneath with white sand. I like white sand. I prefer using white sand to salt. Salt, the only trouble with salt is it attracts moisture, so eventually it goes a bit sort of soggy. And also, I don't know how it's going to react with the different crystals and stuff, so I've decided to go for sand because I know it's not going to react with the crystals, so that's why I'm using that. This beautiful little decanter here is my moon water, and this little snowflake decoration I put on over Christmas, over Yule. But I really like it, so I've left it on. Just adds a bit of sparkle to the glass. And this was like a dead cheap glass from decanter from a charity shop. I think it cost me £1.50 or £2.50, something like that. And it's got some nice fresh moon water in there. And that's it. I think I've waffled on for long enough about my altar setup. I will do a video about Imbolc and what it means and what it represents and everything, and how to celebrate and stuff like that. But for now, this is a look at my Imbolc altar. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Blessed be, and bye for now.